Bolton were once a marquee name in English football, then 2012 happened and everything changed. They got relegated to the Championship before having a couple of stints in League One and even spending a season in League Two. But to be fair, the last 2 years have been promising, with them making the playoff semi-finals last season, and this year they are currently fighting for automatic promotion. Now granted, they are doing well, but under my management I think they'll do even better. So in today's video, I'm going to become the brand new manager of Bolton Wanderers. The goal is to not only get them back into the Prem for the first time in over 10 years, but to win them their first ever UCL, to crown them the world's best club. So ladies and gents, this is the starting 11 we've loaded into at Bolton Wanderers, and off first glance I can't really say there's anything really to shout out about this club. However, for a League One team, it's a very young squad, only 2 players 30 years old or above. Already I'm liking the looks of Bolton Wanderers, and most of our highest rated players are in their mid to late 20s. Now obviously I prefer it to be a bit younger to help them grow a bit more, but this is still damn good for a League One team. And you've also got players like Aaron Mully, a centre midfielder, only 23 years old, 66 rated. We get him on the right development plan, we could turn this guy into a bit of a beast. There's also Dan Lundulu, who's only 24 himself, not the highest rated player in the world, but if we give him a chance he might come good. And there's Nathan Baxter, a 24-year-old 70 overall goalkeeper. I'm going to do my absolute best to keep this guy until the very end of this video. The only real issue I've found is we've got 5 very promising youngsters on loan to us right now, so at one point we're going to have to address this and make a decision on what we're going to do with them. At first glance, this team wasn't really doing anything for me, but after going through the squad, I can safely say I reckon we're going to get promotion in Season 1. But not with the 5-2-1-2, I'm rocking the 5-3-2 holding variation. I will definitely explain why in a second, but this will make all the sense in the world in a minute. But instead of parking the bus or counter-attacking, we're using the gegenpressing tactical vision, because I've got a theory: if you use a fight with a back formation and partner it up with a pressing tactical vision, you will absolutely run riot. And after meddling around with the team just a little bit, this is the starting 11 I'd be comfortable going into Season 1 with before we make any signings at all. Now, as I've said, we've got 4 million in our budget, but you probably guessed by now I'm not going to spend this money on any players outside of Bolton Wanderers. I'm going to spend it on the players at Bolton Wanderers. More specifically, the players that we've got on loan to us right now, because just look at them, man. They're all very early in their career. They all look like they've got a decent future. I'd be daft not to try and make a couple of these a permanent player at Bolton. But I'm not going to bring Ogbeta into the team. Granted, he's 22, he's 66 overall, he could definitely become a beast, but I've got a different plan in mind. Instead, I'm bringing Zach Ashworth into the team. Granted, he's 4 ratings lower than Ogbeta, but he's 2 years younger, already a left wing back, and he's worth a lot less than him, so I think this is definitely the right choice. I'm also going to try and bring Caleb Taylor in on a permanent deal. He's 20 years old, 67 rated. The only problem is his market value is 1.8 mil, so he's definitely going to be on the expensive side. But my big priority is bringing Calvin Ramsey in on a permanent deal, only worth 1.4 mil, not even 20 years old yet, and 65 rated. This one is a no-brainer. And for the total sum amount of 1.6 mil, not only have I signed Calvin Ramsey, I've also signed Zach Ashworth. And that leaves us 2 million in our budget to bring in Caleb Taylor, but honestly, I don't think that's going to be enough to bring him into the team, so I'm going to take no chances. That's why I'm loaning out every single one of these players, just to bolster our budget a little bit. But unfortunately, guys, after loaning every single player out on that transfer list, our budget hasn't increased at all. 2 mil is all we've got to actually spend. But taking a closer look, guys, we've got 2.4 mil to spend because our wage cuts due to players being out on loan is over $500,000. That's a massive dub. This means we can absolutely afford Caleb Taylor, and also Paris Maghoma is a potential signing we can make too. I did have my eyes on this guy. It's just with us trying to sign Calvin Ramsey, Zach Ashworth, and also Caleb Taylor, I didn't think we could afford this guy, but now that's a different story. But first, we are going to try and sign Caleb Taylor. Now, with him playing for West Brom, we may get a cheaper deal. 400k under his market value, that's what we're going for. They only want $500,000 alongside Toll. To be fair, I might try to get a cheaper deal with that, because with Taylor going into the team, I don't think Toll's going to be used. So let's offer 300,000 alongside Toll. Come on, West Brom, play ball with me. 5% silent clause sorted. That's one transfer done. Now we can move on to the next one. Now, surely to go, with us only spending 300,000 on Taylor, we can get Maghoma for 1.1 mil easy. But Brentford are a little bit more stingy. 1.45 million for a player they're not even going to use. Come on, man, you don't need the money that much, do you? We've offered 1.6 1.2 million, and they've accepted it. Absolutely beautiful. For 1.5 mil, we got both of these players. And just like that, guys, Caleb Taylor and also Paris Maghoma are officially Bolton Wanderers players. Beautiful. I mean, we do still have over $500,000 in our budget, but I'm going to use that to renew contracts and sort the coaching system out, because that's our transfer window done. And that leaves our team looking like this heading into season 1. And honestly, I've got incredibly high hopes for what we can achieve this year. I mean, in real life, Bolton are actually 3rd in League 1, but I'm hoping that we can trump that. I'm hoping we can win League 1 and go up to the Championship in season 1 as champions. The question is though, guys, are the 4 signings I've made actually going to come good for us this year, or have I made a complete error in my judgment? Well, guys, whether I have or haven't, one thing's for certain, the players have definitely improved a lot this year. Just take a look at some of these ratings, man. Everybody has done a really good job this season. And just look at the stats as well, guys. 6 players in total, if I'm not mistaken, got more than 10 goal contributions, and that includes 3 of our centre midfielders. Guys, I don't know how we've done yet, but judging by the stats and how this team looks right now, I reckon we may have got the playoffs. But I'm happily wrong, guys. We are automatically promoted to the Championship with Bolton Wanderers. We were nowhere near Derby County in the end, 104 points, fair play, but guys, we have absolutely smashed it. It looks like putting my faith in these 4 players and the rest of the team really was the right call to make in the end, wasn't it? However, in the FA Cup, we didn't fare so well. Northampton knocked us out in round 2. And Plymouth knocked us out in round 2 of the Carabao Cup as well. But we've actually won the Bristol Street Motors Trophy in our first attempt. Guys, this is actually more impressive than winning the Champions League in my opinion. How we've done this with Bolton, I'll never know. This team is overpowered as hell. I don't think you guys quite understand the gravity of what we've been able to achieve. When I built a team of Wonderkids, we couldn't get out of the group stage, but in our first attempt with Bolton Wanderers, we win it first time. That is actually ridiculous. And with us getting automatically promoted as well, I feel like our future with Bolton is very bright. Our journey with them as well has only just begun. But before we get to season 2, have you guys seen what Rahman said in one of his previous videos?
I'm trying to overtake Goodwin. We're racing to 100k subs, and I am going to beat you, Goodwin.
I know, right, guys? I thought we were friends. But guys, I cannot let him beat me to 100k. So if you are enjoying this video so far, make sure you leave it a like and smash that subscribe button. We have to beat Rahman to 100,000 subscribers. But guys, here we are. It's a new season with Bolton Wanderers, and we are officially in the Championship. And with the Championship comes that Championship money, 13 million to be exact. But honestly, my biggest worry is, where the hell am I going to put that money? I mean, I made sure that last year this team is full of high potential youngsters, and right now I'm not really seeing anywhere I can put this money into the team to improve it. I mean, I could be very harsh, guys. Maybe Ricardo Santos is the player I replace. He's 29 years old, 71 overall. Granted, he is going up, but that is not going to last like that for much longer. And it's the same story for George Johnstone. I mean, he's 71 overall. He's 4 years younger, but I don't know how long he's going to keep improving like this. Whereas, whilst Caleb Taylor's development plan doesn't look that good, he's only 21 years old. We've got to give him at least a chance to improve. I think that makes sense, guys. I mean, the midfield doesn't really need to be touched. Our striker partnership did well last year. I definitely feel like a couple of better defenders is definitely the smartest move to make. And guys, I've managed to find a very decent Polish centre-back. Hellas Verona's Powell. He's 29, he's 75 overall. His contract's running out, meaning we'll get a much cheaper deal. And yeah, you better believe I'm not even going to try and pronounce that second name. And following him is centre-back Majid from Genki, 6 foot, 24, 75 overall as well. And his contract's running out too, so for the pair of them, we're going to get a bargain. And guys, I was absolutely bang on, because £9.6 million later, they are both playing for Bolton Wanderers. But we've only got 1 mil in our budget, so even if I wanted to bring any more players in, I couldn't afford to, so we're going to leave the transfer window as it is. And honestly, guys, I feel like we're going to upset quite a few teams. Obviously, we got our weak points like our striker Lundulu and our left wing back Ashraf, but they're both young. They did well last year, so there's no reason to replace them yet. Plus, I'm looking at the table right now, and I'm not seeing any incredible Championship teams that are really going to run away with it this year, so you never know, guys. We may just scrape the playoffs if we play well. But maybe it was a little bit too much to ask. We did finish 10th in the Championship in our first season back, and it not bad at all. 14 points outside the playoffs. Maybe next year I've got to be a little more ruthless with what I do in the transfer window, because next year, one way or the other, we are getting promotion. But we didn't do well in the FA Cup, as Bristol City knocked us out in round 3. And Blackpool knocked us out on penalties in round 2 of the Carabao Cup. Okay, it's going to be a while before we start doing well domestically, ain't it? But Christ above, have you seen the state of this team, ladies and gents? I definitely stand by what I said. Next year, we are getting promotion. We are definitely on the right track to doing that. And the stats back it up. 18-1 for Lundulu, 18-4 for Victor, 9-7 for Morley, 8-7 for Thomason. We've had a really good season. The big question is, though, where the hell do I actually improve this team? And our midfield trio have all massively improved. Our strikers have massively improved. I really don't know what to do. Maybe a new fullback in Ashworth, but he's only 22 years old, man. I am actually, for the first time in a long time, genuinely stuck on what to do for next season's transfer window. Maybe when I see the budget next year, I'll be able to make a decision, but for now, we have to celebrate the wins. In our win this season, we absolutely smashed it in the Championship. Okay, guys, we're into our second year in the Championship with Bolton. We've got 12 mil in our budget, and finally, guys, I've come to a decision. This may surprise you lot. I'm going to replace Mag Hermit with a better centre midfielder, and let me just explain to you why. It'll take him 86 weeks to become a better centre midfielder, man, and whilst that is decent for the Championship, when we get to the Premier League eventually, that's not what we want, so it's better to prepare for the future now rather than later. And to be honest, guys, everybody else in the starting 11's development plan's actually really solid. It's just Mag Hermit that is the one that's stagnated. So we are going to use this 12 million to bring in a brand new better centre midfielder, and I have found just the person for the job. I'm talking about Marcelino Nunez from Norwich City. He's 25, 76 rated. He's got some very decent stats, and he's well within our budget. He's definitely the right route to go down. And guys, £6.5 million later, Marcelino Nunez is the latest addition to Bolton Wanderers. Now, granted, we do have 4 mil left in our budget, but I'm going to use this to improve our coaching system and to renew contracts. I seriously cannot justify spending this money anymore on the starting 11. Because for goodness sake, look at it. They're all in their mid-20s. They've all got time to grow. They're all improving at a fast rate. There's literally no reason why I've got to meddle with this team any more than I already have done. And guys, as a newly promoted team, we finished 10th last season in the Championship, but now that we've grown from them, we've improved from them, and we've added quality to the team, there's no reason why we can't make the playoffs this year. And I absolutely stand by what I said. Look at some of the improvement in these players, especially Calvin Ramsey. 5 overall improvement this year. That's ridiculous. And the stats are looking pretty damn solid as well, guys. I've got a very good feeling that this year we've just about made the playoffs. And there we go, guys. We are indeed in the playoffs alongside Burnley, Coventry City, and Luton Town. I can't help but feel gutted, though. We were only 5 points off automatic promotion. It looks like we've got to do this the hard way, though. And we are indeed in the final, guys, against Burnley after scraping a 3-2 aggregate win over Luton. This is the team we're playing against too. Alcaraz, Ramsey, Muric, Jord. They've got a pretty damn good team, haven't they? But is it as good as ours? And it isn't. We've absolutely smashed it. Lundulu, who was the top goal scorer there, Morley in the 7th, and Dulu in the 51st, and Victor in the 80th. Guys, Bolton Wanderers are back in the top flight of English football. Get in. And you know what, guys? Considering we finished 3rd, 5 points above Burnley, I'd say that was justified as well. But guys, we've just been humbled. Bournemouth knocked us out of the FA Cup in round 3. But we did make it to round 4 of the Carabao Cup before getting knocked out by Coventry. Do you know what? I'll take that. But these lads have done us proud, guys. 3 seasons is all it took to get us from League 1 to the Premier League. Beautiful. But that was the easy part. We're going to be against teams like Man City, Liverpool, United, Chelsea, the Bottle Jobs, all top teams in English football. So the question is, guys, how are we going to get on against them? Well, ladies and gents, we are going to find out, because it's now season 4 with Bolton Wanderers, and it's official. We have got them back into the top flight of English football. But I've got to admit, I'm disappointed with the budget. 53 mil is all we've got to spend. I mean, it's by a mile our biggest budget yet, but I was expecting 70 or 80 million. We're going to have to make the most of it, though, because this team right now, as good as it was in the Championship, is not going to do well in the Prem. But there is one position, or two should I say, that I do intend on improving. And those 2 positions are our centre-back roles where Porwell and Taylor play. And when you really think about it, this is kind of obvious. When you consider the team as a whole, they are 2 of the weakest parts of the team, and it's in the most important part of the pitch in this formation, in the defence. And on top of that, Porwell is 31 years old, and it'll take him 30 weeks to become a better centre-back. And whilst Caleb Taylor's a lot younger, it'll take him even longer to become a better player. So all in all, guys, this one is a no-brainer. But I'm not just going to bring in any old centre-backs. I'm going to bring in Premier League experienced, young, talented centre-backs that I won't have to worry about replacing for quite a while. And ironically, finally, I'm replacing our Polish centre-back with another Polish centre-back, Jakub Kiwior. He's 26, 79 overall. He's not worth all that much, and you don't have to tell me in the comments. I know I accidentally butchered that name. I do apologise. But I'm not going to butcher this guy's name. Jarrell Hato. He's 20, 78 overall, and he's an exciting prospect. I literally cannot go wrong with this guy. Plus, these guys are both quite young. They're both playing for top Premier League sides, so they've got that experience that we want. We literally cannot go wrong with these signings because they're exactly what we want. And just like that, Season 4's transfer window is done, as for 46 million, we've signed both of these players on permanent deals. But remember, guys, whilst those signings are very good, we're no longer in the Championship. We're in the Prem against the big boys in England. I mean, for the future, these signings are absolutely incredible, especially Jarrell Hato. But the big question of this season, are they good enough to help this newly promoted Bolton Wanderers side remain a Premier League side come the end of this season? Yes, they will, ladies and gents. We are 15th in the Prem. It's not an amazing place to finish, but for a newly promoted team, I'll definitely take that. I mean, to be fair, 15th looks a lot worse than it actually is. We were 11 points above the drop zone. We've got to be happy with that. We also made it to the quarters of the FA Cup, only losing to Man City on pens. We've definitely got to be happy with that. But on the other hand, Leeds United destroyed us in round 2 of the Carabao Cup. That I'm not exactly happy about. But the signings we made, guys, were absolutely spot on. Look at that defence now. I'm willing to bet our defence was probably a big reason why we stayed up. I'm actually convinced of it now, guys. Look at this stats. 15-1 for Lundulu, 11-6 for Aaron Morley, and 10-5 for Victor. Our centre midfielder got the same amount of goal contributions as our striker. That's how poor we were in front of goal. So I think with that being said, it's kind of obvious we need a better striker partnership up top, but it's alright us saying this. We definitely need the budget to work in our favour in order to make this happen. But the budget isn't in our favour. 45 million is all we got to work with. I don't know why the total's saying 251 million. I bloody wish we had that amount of money, but it just isn't the case. Now, I don't really fancy trying to replace both of our strikers with only 45 million, so there's only one real solution here. I've put all these players up for sale on the transfer list. Granted, there's only 2 players actually worth anything, but hopefully by the time we sold all of them, we'll have a bit more money than 45 million. And after only managing to sell Ndulu and also Victor, we've still accumulated 66 million. Guys, that is way better than 45 million, and we can definitely make this work. But most importantly, that budget allows us to replace our former strikers with better strikers, starting with Sekou Koita from the Blaze. He's 27, 80 overall, and the best part is his contract's running out. And following him is Luka Jovic from Aston Villa, 29 years old, 80 overall. He's got so much experience, and honestly, we need that right now. And there we go, guys. £33.2 million later, we've officially got a brand new striker partnership. And I'm really hoping these pair come in clutch this year, man. We can ill afford a season like we had last year in front of goal. But we do still have 24 million remaining in our budget, and guys, we are not yet in a position where we can just look at that money and say we don't need to spend it anymore. Now it's established our strikers are sound, our defence is sound, and honestly, I'm going to keep Baxter for at least one more year, which just leaves the midfield to sort out. Now Nunez is going absolutely nowhere, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Morley last year who got the same amount of goal contributions as our top goal scorer last year, who was our striker, so it looks like Thomason is the centre midfielder who's getting replaced. And I'm replacing him with Chelsea youngster Cesar Casadei. He's 24, 78 rated, and just look at those stats, man. He's incredibly well-rounded. And that is yet another transfer window done and dusted, as for 17 million we have brought in the Italian youngster. And that leaves the starting 11 looking like this going into the second year in the Prem. And honestly, guys, we've got to be striving for at least a mid-table finish this year. This team is way better than last season's side, especially with the signings we've made as well. Jovic, Koita and Casadei have got to make a positive impact on this team, otherwise we are in a very, very bad situation. But it's safe to say we're not in a bad situation. Instead, we are top 10 in our second season in the Prem, only a couple of points outside the top 6. I was honestly expecting mid-table at best, but top 10, actually scratch that, top 8, guys. That is phenomenal. We even made it to round 5 of the FA Cup before succumbing to Arsenal. Granted, we did get knocked out in round 2 of the Carabao Cup, but you know what? We did lose to Wolves. It's not exactly a bad team to lose against. But guys, this team this season has come on leaps and goddamn bounds. Look at Jarrell Hato, 86 rating. What a signing he's turned out to be. His market value 76 million as well, so if we get a big offer, we may have have to say yes to that next year. But we can worry about that next year because the stats this season are levels above last year's, especially Sekou Koitama, 19 goals and 4 assists in 40 games. What a debut season for Bolton. Now this is embarrassing. I'm pretty certain we get some kind of European football Conference League. I think 7th place gets you, but I really aren't too sure. I'm sure you're going to rinse me about that in the comments though. Either way though guys, I want to make sure that this team is prepared as humanly possible for what is to come. So that means a better centre midfielder than Morley's on the cards and a better fullback than Ashworth. However, this year's budget wasn't exactly amazing, so we've got to pray to God that with us having a better season this time, next year's budget will be significantly better. Now this season's budget isn't a significant improvement, but it's enough to bring in a new fullback and midfielder, starting with Lamine Kamara from FC Metz. He's 24, 82 overall. His status says he's got something special, and I'm hoping that's right. And for the total amount of 32 million, we have signed Lamine Kamara on a 5-year deal. And that leaves us with 32 million to spend from the original 67 million, and all we need to do now is bring in a better left wing back, and I feel like I know just the player for the job. Sergio Gomez from Fiorentina, 83 overall at 27 years old. He's so well-rounded, one of my favourite left backs on this game, and he's affordable. While I say that, he's worth between 44 mil and 35 million, so one way or the other guys, in these negotiations we're going to have to give them a player. Now I want to give them Zach Ashworth alongside 15 million, so that's 37 million overall. Are they going to accept it though? Yes they are! Oh my god, I cannot believe we've actually just been able to make that happen. And there he is in the Bolton Wanderers kit. It'll only take him 2 weeks to convert to a left wing back. I'd say this is a great bit of business. And now look at that team, ladies and gents. Everywhere on that pitch is absolutely spot on, apart from one position which does worry me a little bit. Our goalkeeper, Baxter. Now this really hits because he's been with us since season 1 and he's been so good, but he's the weakest link in the team, and especially if we've got Europe this year, we do need somebody a little bit better. Now we do only have 13 million left, but I reckon if we bring in a veteran of the game, we may just be able to afford him, and hopefully the veteran we bring in will be levels above where Baxter is right now. Luckily I found someone for the job, Bryce Samba from Leipzig. Granted he's 34, but he's 84 overall. He's 4 ratings higher than Baxter, and that's frankly all we're after. And there we go guys, another transfer window in the books. Is for 8.5 million. Bryce Samba is now a Bolton Wanderers player. Now guys, I've checked. We've unfortunately not qualified for the Europa Conference League, so it looks like after all that, 7th place in the Prem doesn't get you European football. But that means that's this season's target guys. I want this Bolton Wanderers team to qualify for European football, whether that be the Conference League, Europa League or the UCL, but ideally I'd love it to be the UCL. Well guys, I've got me wish because we've only gone and won the Premier League title by 3 points in the end. Bolton Wanderers are officially the best team in England this season. I'm honestly gobsmacked guys. I knew we were good enough to get European football, but I did not expect us to win the title. That's outrageous. But we did once again make the quarters, only losing to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Again, they knocked us out of a competition. I'm getting sick of them. And Aston Villa knocked us out in round 3 of the Carabao Cup. Honestly, we may have won the title, but domestically, we're still so poor, aren't we? I'm sorry guys, can someone help me understand this? How is this team gone on to win the Premier League title? It's a good team, don't get me wrong. Definitely good enough to be in Europe now, but winning the title, we're nowhere near that yet. All I can say is the 5 at the back partner with the Gegenpress must be overpowered as hell right now. And the stats just make it worse, guys. 28 and 6 for Sekou Koitama, and our second top goal scorer was Sergio Gomez, who got 19 and 4. He's a left wing back, for God's sake. How is he doing that? He legitimately put Luka Jovic to shame. Next year, we may end up saying goodbye to him, cashing in on him to get a better striker to go up top with Koitama. But regardless, because we've won the Premier League title, we got our wish. We've got Champions League football for next season. So that means our job next season is to make sure this title-winning Bolton Wanderers team are ready for the Champions League. And honestly, there's only a couple of positions we've got to focus on in order to make that happen. Especially when juggernauts like Real Madrid and Bayern are in the Champions League final. No underdog story here, guys. We've got to make sure that we prepare ourselves and then some. And guys, now that we're into a new season with Bolton and I've had time to actually properly look at the team to see how we can prepare ourselves for this season, I know exactly what we need to do. Now, Jovic is also a very weak link in the team, but he's also got Champions League experience, and I feel like that's going to come in clutch this year. And obviously Bryce Samber's an issue too. He's 35, he's going down in overall, but we do have Nathan Baxter who can go straight into his spot when the time comes. And guys, financially, we are absolutely sound. 157 million is what we have to spend on 3 midfielders, so guys, let's get to work. Now, ideally, we're after box-to-box midfielders, very well-rounded players, and Wittner is definitely a well-rounded midfielder. 29, 85 overall. He's a little bit short, but I definitely feel like he'll make up with that with his technical ability. And then there's Davide Fratesi as well from Nottingham Forest. He's 29, 85 overall, and just like Wittner, guys, he's incredibly well-rounded too. And for a combined total of 108 million, we've just signed 2 incredible centre midfielders. Now we just need to sign a third. And I really like the looks of this guy, Hugo Larsson, the Swedish centre mid from Lyon, 25, 85 rated. The only problem is he's worth between 75 and 60 million. And as you can see, we've only got 37 million. Now, we may just be able to make this happen if we offer a player on our side as well as money. So I'm offering Marcelino Nunes alongside 25 million. I don't know if they're going to go for this, but it's worth a shot. Damn, they really aren't interested in Nunes. They want 70.3 million. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this. Okay, this is our last offer because I don't want to waste time. Lamine Camara alongside 27.5 million. If they don't go for this, it's basically pointless to carry on. Unfortunately, they just aren't interested. It looks like for now at least, we've got to say goodbye to Hugo Larsson. Now, guys, I've looked. There's no centre midfielder I can buy for 37 million who's actually worth bringing into the team. So instead of a centre midfielder, there is another position we're going to buy for. We need a better second choice striker in place of Collins. I mean, he's only 71 overall. If anything happens to Koita or Jovic, this guy's the replacement. And honestly, that's just not good enough. So I'm going to put my differences aside from the Chelsea series and bring Tammy Abraham to Bolton Wanderers. He's 31, 83 overall. He actually may take Jovic's spot in the starting 11, to be fair. But whether he's a starting 11 striker or a second choice striker for 27 million, we have signed him up on a 4-year deal. And after all that, it looks like he is going in the starting 11. He's 1 rating higher than Jovic, but to be fair, that's Jovic's fault, man. He should have done better last season. But the good news is, guys, that window has made us way more prepared for the UCL as we're in Group E alongside Bayern, Benfica, and Polish side Rakow. And honestly, this is going to be a tricky group stage. But the good news is, after 3 games, we are 4th in the Prem, man. We've had a cracking start to the campaign. The question is now, guys, can this team keep it up? Remember, we've got European football to contend with as well. How is it going to cope with 4 competitions this year as opposed to 3? Well, it looked like it took its toll on us. We're 4th in the Prem from being the champions last year. I mean, Manchester City ran away with it in the end, and to be honest, it's not that bad. We're only 3 points away from second place United. But we are adding another trophy to the collection, beating Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Community Shield final on pens. Beautiful. But we still cannot win the FA Cup. Bloody Swansea knocked us out. And United knocked us out in round 4 of the Carabao Cup. Honestly, this season can't get any worse, really, can it? But I stand seriously corrected. We are bottom of Group E. Oh my god, I don't think I've ever done that before, man. Bolton Wanderers, wake up. And to top it off, Tottenham won the Champions League. Honestly, this season can get straight into the bin. I am absolutely ashamed of you. Every single one of you ought to hang your head in absolute shame. I mean, the stats, let's be honest, are absolutely woeful as well. Jovic and Koita, 16-4 for him, 19-1 for him. Honestly, this season, I mean, it can get straight into the bin. I don't understand how we finished bottom of the group stage in the UCL, man. Surely to God, we've got to at least finish 3rd. But we have qualified for the UCL next year, which fortunately means our budget will once again be great, which means we'll actually have the money to take action on everything bad that's happened this year. And guys, we do have the budget to take action this year, 218 million to be exact. And I'm telling you now, guys, if we don't put this money to good use and actually get results this season, I don't deserve to be manager of Bolton. Now, this team for the most part is world class, but there's 2 positions that we do need to improve. One of them being our striker. Tammy Abraham came in and he's gone down to 81. Jovic is still 82 overall. We need a world-class striker to partner up with Koita up top. And we are finally bringing in a world-class keeper for Baxter, man. It's literally those 2 positions that are letting us down. I'm absolutely certain of it. And we're not messing around, guys. Diogo Costa is the keeper I'm going for. 30 years old, 89 overall. I honestly can't think of anybody better to bring in to go in between the sticks. And following him is Paris Brunner, only 24 years old, already 86 rated, a world-class striker already, and I feel like for us, he's going to get even better. And just like that, a whopping £170.2 million later, we finally got got our world-class goalkeeper and our world-class striker. But I have just noticed we don't actually have a backup fullback in case anything happens to Ramsey or Gomez, so I do feel like with the remaining budget we've got, we have to sort this out. And I think Brooke Norton-Cuffy can do a job, guys. He's 26 years old, 80 overall. He's not going to cost us all that much. This is a nice way to round off this transfer window. And that does conclude our business for Season 8, as we've just spent 20 mil on Brooke Norton-Cuffy. But other business this season is just picking up, as we are once again in the UCL in Group A this time alongside Inter Milan, Ajax and Dynamo Zagreb. And surely to God this year, we've got to make it through to the knockouts. I mean, look at us in the league. 3 games in, 3 games won, undefeated, top of the table. Let's just hope we can keep this going. But unfortunately, we couldn't quite win the title. Manchester City were just too good, man. Imagine only losing 5 games from 38 in this day and age. That's just ridiculous. But to be fair, we did make it to the quarters of the FA Cup. And by the way, shout out to Portsmouth for actually making the FA Cup final this year. You bloody done better than us. As for the Carabao Cup, we did also make the quarters here, but Manchester United knocked us out. Honestly, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, get in the bin. But thankfully in the UCL, we did this time make it out of the group stage relatively comfortably as well. 4 wins from 6. That's not bad at all. And in the round of 16, we smoked Sevilla 5-0 on aggregate. And we got past Athletic Bilbao pretty easily in the quarters too. We could be playing Leverkusen, Benfica, Barca. Oh, please be Benfica. It wasn't Benfica, it was Barca, but we beat them 4-3 anyway, and we're playing Leverkusen, who've absolutely destroyed Benfica. Oh my god, we're in for a right tough game against them, aren't we? Just look at that team, man. They have got a ridiculous squad. They're playing a 3-4-2-1 and we're playing a 5-3-2. It's going to be such a weird tactical game, ain't it? And finally, the stats actually look decent. 21-4 for Koita, 19-10 for Gomez, 15 for Brunner. I mean, we paid how much for him and he still couldn't outscore Sergio Gomez, our left wing back. There's something just to miss there, isn't there? But ladies and gents, this is the team heading into the UCL final for the first time ever in Bolton's history, if I'm not mistaken. So that in its own right is a pretty big achievement. Now, up to this point, granted, we haven't been that successful, only winning a couple of trophies, but that doesn't matter if we win the next one we're playing for, because if we win that, we become the best team in the world. All we have to do is beat Leverkusen to do it. We've got Brunner on the ball. We're going to cut inside. I tell you what, let's have a little bit of a run with Brunner. I tell you what, he's done pretty well there. I was expecting him to run into a brick wall. We can cross the... Oh, bloody hell. Come on, man. Really? We've got Wittner on the ball. I'm trying to loop far post. Can we see that ball? Oh, we made the run inside to the near post, but Brunner's there. Overhead kick attempt. We can't get it away. We've got Bianchi coming forward now. Oh, my God. How the hell has he still got that ball after being literally sandwiched? But he's still on the ball now. He's found Benacer outside the box. Great defending. Koita's coming forward now. We've got absolutely nobody with us. We've had to go back and still we can't find anyone. Oh my god. Coming forward again, this time with Davide Fratesi. We've got a little bit more room to operate in this time, and we still cannot find a ball through to our forwards. We need to do better going forward, man. Leverkusen have got a free kick. I've looked at the replay and I still aren't sure what it's been given for. Benacer's on it. Great defending. Oh my god, I can't tell whether that was the keeper pulling the save off or the defender getting the block in. But Leverkusen claimed the first corner of the game, and so far, guys, it has been so evenly matched. But here we come with Wittner on the ball. I'm not sure what we're going to be able to do with this, but maybe we can get a really good counter-attack, and we're going to try cut inside here. Wittner's still on the ball. We're going to go far. That's a beautiful ball. Ramsey's in so much space. We're going to come inside, and again, and oh, that's beautiful. Wittner. Oh, great defending. So far, literally nothing separates ourselves from Leverkusen. It's such a contrast of styles. They've got 3 at the back. We've got 5 at the back. Like, we can't break through each other's defenses. Here come Leverkusen, though, their first bit of time in our half, in the second half, and Jarell Hato's there, man. What a player he's turned out to be. Leverkusen are really starting to turn the gas on now, though. They're on the right-hand side playing some really nice football. They're cutting inside as well. We need to get a block in. Great defending. Got Ramsey on the ball here. Can we spot a run from Brunner? We can't, but we can feed it back to Ramsey, who is in behind now. This is beautiful. This is the chance we've been after. Wittner to make it 1-0. No, what a save. Best chance of the game by a country mile with 15 minutes to go. That shows how evenly contested this final is. Our first corner of the game. Koita to take. That's a great ball. Can anybody said get on that? No, we can't. Kamara. Can we have a shot from distance? And he gets blocked straight away. Do have Gomez on the ball, though. Koite is there to receive it. Koite is coming into... Oh, that's beautiful. That's going to be 1-0, and it is! It's taken us almost 80 minutes in this Champions League final, but we finally got the advantage. Beautiful bit of play from a very failed corner kick, and look who it is, Wittner. Beautiful stuff. Kamara receives it outside. We get it back to Koiter. He runs inside, and purely because Leverkusen got 3 at the back, they were completely stretched, and we took full advantage of it. We just need to make sure we make no silly mistakes at the back. So far, we've been perfect. Look at that from Hato, man. Leverkusen's time is running out. They're still in their off. There's a minute to go in extra time, but I feel like they wasted their time a little bit too much. It's the referee who blows his whistle, and that is official. The referee has blown his whistle. That is the 90 minutes up. Bolton Wanderers are officially the best team in the world. That was not easy, ladies and gents, and I'm not talking about the final, man. It took us 8 seasons to take Bolton from League One to the Championship to the Premier League to winning the title to winning the Champions League. But that means our job at Bolton is done. But if you enjoyed this, you should definitely click here to watch me do this with the Rams.